let's do this in one take. Give me about 100. Okay, rolling.
Roll it.
And tell when you're ready, Richard. 309,
Take
take 3.
3.
And action.
And action.
Oh no.
Oh no, not again.
Oh no.
Oh no. Ah!
I'm the great Gonzo, and you're...
Hello, my name is Kyle. I'm Kyle Young, and I'm here in my movie, The Muppet Christmas Carol, and I'm here to tell everyone that I'm here, that I'm wanted to tell. I'm pretending in the hit movie, The Muppet Christmas Carol, because I'm here to tell. I have Gonzo and Rizzo with me. Rizzo is with me, and Gonzo here is pretending to be as Charles Dickens, and I'm Kyle Young myself, because I wanted to tell that I'm pretending myself as Kyle Young in the Muppet Christmas Carol, meeting all the Muppets, and especially Gonzo and Rizzo, in the Muppet Christmas Carol. Just so you know, when I'm here to tell, because we're looking at the star in the Muppet Christmas Carol in the behind the scenes.
Hello, I'm the great Gonzo, and you're watching the Muppet Christmas Carol documentary.
It happened at a movie studio in London. The making of The Muppet Christmas Carol from Jim Henson Productions and Walt Disney Pictures.
It paints you with indifference like a lady paints with rouge. And the worst of the worst,
The most hated and cursed.
is the one that we call Scrooge. Yeah.
Unkind doesn't he? And the wrath of many. This is Ebenezer Scrooge.
Oh, there goes Mr. Humbug. There goes Mr. Grim. If they gave a prize for being mean, the winner would be him.
The Muppet Christmas Carol is based on Charles Dickens' classic story of Ebenezer Scrooge, the greediest man alive.
I'll drink to Mr. Scrooge, even though he is odious and stingy and badly dressed.
Humbug.
Ebenezer Scrooge was part of Charles Dickens' story, and was part of the story because he was the grumpiest Scrooge. Because all I wanted to say, when he was the grumpiest Scrooge, I had joined with Gonzo and Rizzo, and once when I was with Gonzo and Rizzo, I was joining with them, and we were telling stories about this, and once when we saw Scrooge, I had to groan, and when Gonzo just said, "Now," I just groaned. So I just groaned in my shiver, and that's when Gonzo just said, "There he is. That's Mr. Ebenezer Scrooge." That's when Mr. Scrooge just came by for the movie. It was brought to life by Michael Caine for that movie, for the Muppet Christmas Carol, that way.
Scrooge is played by Academy Award winner Michael Caine, working with a most unusual cast of co-stars.
We have a few humans and a few Muppets. And I might add that the humans are very realistic.
Bob Cratchit? So there you are.
Mr. Scrooge, sir,
I must say, I do really like playing the sadistic old villain with all these lovely little Muppets who everybody loves so much, and I just hate a lot of them. It's really great.
If you please, Mr. Scrooge, it's gotten colder.
Yeah.
And the bookkeeping staff would like to have an extra shovel full of coal for the fire.
We can't do the bookkeeping. Yeah, all of our pens have turned to incicles. Yeah, our assets are frozen.
How would the bookkeepers like to be suddenly...
Unemployed!
This is my island in the sun.
Once when Ebenezer Scrooge was at work, and everything else, I had to look at the window, and everything else, Gonzo, Rizzo, and I, the dirty city was there, and so as especially when Gonzo was holding Rizzo, and it went like this for the wiggle, 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 wiggle for the wipeout, and Rizzo said, "Thank you for making me a part of this," and then I just said for Gonzo this, "You were saying," and then we continued on more, and that's just part when we join in for my movie to see what's going on for Scrooge that way, and we had to see for Scrooge in his office working. So that's how what happened in his movie that we had to join in. So I had to look at the window and see what was going on for this, to see what is in the movie for this.
I believe you've convinced me once again, Mr. Scrooge.
Everyone deserves access.
Kermit the Frog is Bob Cratchit, Scrooge's clerk. Kermit's nephew Robin plays Tiny Tim. And of course, there's Miss Piggy as Emily Cratchit in a captivating performance.
They give me this teeny role. Obviously, they're frightened of my talent.
Nah.
With the Cratchit family, I wanted to say the Cratchit family were joining all as the Cratchit family for presents and Christmas. All I wanted to say, they're joining for their own Christmas carol for their reason, and they wanted to be pleased and saying something what is more important about Christmas, and they had wanted to say because. How do they want to join along? Because this is how they wanted to celebrate their own Christmas. Like in the middle, the child of Kermit's was saying, "God bless us, everyone." And in the end, before I go home, I had to heard with Michael Caine as Scrooge saying, "God bless us, God bless us, everyone." So that's how it came from the middle to the end. Together, God bless us, everyone. So that's how it worked that way. Together, God bless us, everyone.
Miss Piggy is just one of the 280 Muppets who appear in the Muppet Christmas Carol. Among them, some of the world's most beloved characters. There's Fozzie Bear as Fozzie Wig, and Animal, complete with a beat as usual. And this dynamic duo too, the Great Gonzo and Rizzo the Rat, teamed up to help tell the tale of Scrooge's redemption.
Stop it. It's a new thing for the Muppets to do a classic story. They've stayed very faithful to the original story, with the exception of the fact that we have lots of barnyard animals playing the parts.
Everybody's looking back. There goes Mr. Humbug.
Director Brian Henson is the creative force behind the Muppet Christmas Carol.
We're sort of...
And here I'm a voice actor. With me, I'm a voice actor for myself, as myself for the Muppet Christmas Carol. What I did in the movie, because I had to join Gonzo and Rizzo for the hit movie for this. Because here in my movie, I had to walk on the buildings in the beginning. Then I had to climb down, and I had to walk towards to Gonzo and Rizzo, and then once when I met with them, I had to introduce them for before saying hello. I did this and Gonzo's hello, and I said this, hi Gonzo's. Welcome to the Muppet Christmas Carol. And then we went along, and then I had to say this, that I'm here to join along with Gonzo and Rizzo, and Gonzo was telling stories, and so as Rizzo was here with the food and everything else, Gonzo was Charles Dickens, and so is everything else. So I joined Gonzo and Rizzo. I had to see what's going on with the gang, so I was partners along with Gonzo and Rizzo, and then I had to join along with the team. So we were team partners as we were exploring downtown for Scrooge's story, and then once when we joined the story, we explored the whole thing, and later in the end, I had to go home on the buildings. Before that, I had to say goodbye to Gonzo and Rizzo in the end, and I had to go home on the buildings to go back home. And that's how I did for the movie, and that's how I did.
Miss Carroll.
We're sort of tried to set up a world where anything goes, where the Muppets are comfortable in it, and Michael Caine is comfortable as Scrooge in it, although he stands probably a full foot over anybody else in the movie.
Brian Henson is a great director. He's a pig director.
He has this thing about being close to rats. I don't know what it is.
We love working with him because he lets us off early for lunch.
This is Brian's directorial debut, but he's been great. You know, he knows how the Muppets work. He spent a lot of time with us before, and he's been very attentive to our needs.
So you'll probably have to sit on your coat a little bit.
And let us be ourselves and do our own performances, you know.
Okay, Rizzo, now, this is your big scene. You nervous?
Yes, I'm very nervous.
Don't be nervous. It's
Oh,
going to
but-
be just fine.
But I don't know what I'm going to have to do in the
don't
shot.
worry. Don't worry. The director, Brian, will tell you. You just go on in.
But what if it's something I don't know how to do?
Don't worry about it. Come on.
Brian Henson was one of the greatest directors and everything else, but so is in my movie. Here in the scene, I joined Gonzo and Rizzo for this. The spookiest part when there's the Marley ghosts, and there were scariest parts. Scrooge was scared of ghosts of Marley's. The ghosts are the scariest, and we just got scared and fall off the horse wagon, and then Gonzo, Rizzo, and I fall off the wagon, and then that's the way we both got scared, and then we just saw what was going on, because scary spookiness was going on, was the Marley ghosts, and everything else was coming by, and this is how that happened in the movie. And when Scrooge was coming by, there were Marley ghosts. The Marleys had to came and they had to join along, but after that, it was the time we had to join in when we had to join in. Scrooge was in bed, and how come he was in bed? Ghosts came by, and they had creeped on us, and they scared us. And see how that worked that way in the movie of mine, and that's how it worked that way. So you could see how come it worked, because how come it's the difference between Gonzo, Rizzo, and I afraid. But now Rizzo was scared to come by and finding jelly beans and everything else. So what's important with this? What's good about it and what's bad about it? Ghosts of Marley. Ghosts everywhere.
I don't know how to do.
Don't worry about it. Come on.
Yeah, come on, Rizzo. Come on, get down.
But I really hate this. Come on.
It's okay. Come on down.
Come on, I'll catch you. Come on. But I really hate this.
It's okay, Rizzo. Come on. It's okay. We'll catch you.
Come on, I'll catch you. God save my little broken body. Missed.
Ooh. So close.
I never considered the Muppets puppets. I always considered them full-blown characters.
Oh, I forgot my line. Kermit! Kermit!
Now, nobody tell her where I am, okay? All right, it's working out very well for Miss Piggy to play my wife, Emily Cratchit, but I just want to say three things about that. This is only a movie. This is only a movie. This is only a movie.
And with Kermit the Frog, if he was saying it's only a movie, he forgot to say, if it's only a movie, he was supposed to say it's only our movie and my movie with the Muppets. Only our movie and my movie.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
In our minds and in our heads, and certainly in our hearts, they're very, very alive and very, very real. And it doesn't take a great stretch of the imagination to think of Piggy as an actress who has been given this wonderful role, and then to try to imagine what it is that she would do with it.
I have had my fill of you, Mr. Scrooge.
And therefore, I'm about to raise your salary.
Oh, and I am about to raise you right off the pavement right to the...
And where's Tiny Tim?
He'll be up there.
He'll be up
Oh, there he is.
Hello.
Hi. You never look at the puppeteer. I don't know why it is. I mean, you can see him standing there and his mouth moving. You still look at the puppet. They're so realistic. They take on a complete life of their own. It's very funny.
Behind the Muppets, or actually under the Muppets, there is a talented group of fun-loving Muppet performers, like Jerry Nelson performing Mr. Applegate, and Dave Goles performing Gonzo, and Steve Whitmire performing Rizzo, working beneath the raised-up stage where the camera can't see them.
I was raised with them right up by the window, like this scene, where Gonzo, Rizzo, and I were by the window. By the giant ghost Marley was there by Scrooge's door, and when he was there, like when he pushed us out the window, and they just made us, he just made us fall, and so as Scrooge, he made us fall when it snowed that way. So it's just what happened in the movie, and I had to see how that worked that way, how that movie just came into action that way, because why would everything happen about pushing others from the window to the others? It's just like in Toy Story that way.
We do know the lines, even if we don't shoot them right.
In fact, if it's funny on the marker.
For 9 busy weeks, Dave and Steve had their hands full, making the action and movement and voices happen. All that while watching TV monitors to make sure everything was working just right.
But the thing that made Scrooge happiest of all was that his life lay ahead of him.
Yeah.
And it could be changed.
I'm sure it was.
Or something like that.
We have a mainstay of both Muppets and Muppet performers. We don't really cast. Cast is too formal a word for us. We just say, hey, Bill, do you want to do this guy? Who's excited about this guy? Maybe you can do this guy. It's more who's excited, who has more fun about a particular character.
It's very, very complicated making a movie with the Muppets. What's great about it, though, is so much of the team that's here have been together for 15 years and are people I grew up with.
Woohoo! Ha ha!
Director Brian Henson was among old friends while making The Muppet Christmas Carol. Being the son of late Muppets creator Jim Henson, Brian was raised among Muppets, learning his craft from a cast and crew who've come together again for the fun of facing a brand new challenge.
Everybody knows what's needed. Everybody knows how complicated it is. So it really isn't like starting from scratch. It really is quite amazing to watch the crew pull together and have it turn out feeling so effortless.
We have a great time joking around and doing it in character. We always have so much fun between takes, off camera, throwing in lines after the director yells cut.
By the way, there isn't a rat on me, is there? Johnny? I just had that feeling. I couldn't explain it.
Yeah!
Oh, watch out,
There's laughter in The Muppet Christmas Carol, thanks to some extraordinary action and adventure.
Oh, watch out,
There's action and adventure added to the laughter in The Muppet Christmas Carol, thanks to some extraordinary special effects and some amazing movie-making tricks, too, especially when Scrooge encounters the spirits of Christmas.
Jacob Marley.
It's good to be heckling again.
It's good to be doing anything again. Well, I didn't actually work directly with the ghosts, but they're all union and they're very cooperative.
What's the scariest thing of all? Ghosts. Ghosts are the scariest of all. The Marleys and the girl of the ghost was why when the Marleys were dead. The Marleys came for Scrooge, and they came for Scrooge. The Marleys were dead, and they came to fly for Scrooge in his bedtime, and they once came for Scrooge, and once when they do something, they had to sing this: "We're Marley and Marley." So that's when they came for their song that way. And they did that for their own movie of The Muppet Christmas Carol. So that's how they do that, and much more. Then came the girl ghost that way. And then later it came the spookiest of all. Then I got a little frightened, and then we just got on the tree for my frightenedness, and for this goes wild that we got for frightenedness of all, but that just happened. So that way we just did something. So we flew around the city, and that's how we became to do something what had happened. So we just joined along for flying ghosts and much more. That just happened in Scrooge's story that way for the Muppet Christmas Carol of mine. And that's how it happened in my movie for that.
Of all the spirits, the one called Christmas Present was the most complex. Good old-fashioned Muppet making, combined with computer-age electronics, all done on a giant scale, with a full-sized man inside, while across the room, Jerry Nelson performed the spirit's voice and facial expressions by remote control.
Well, I'm usually trustworthy.
The Christmas Present is a new character. It's somewhat of a challenge to begin with, but it's also one of those characters that uses some of the technology. So it's two people, in essence, focusing and bringing a character to life.
May I welcome you to Christmas morning?
For Scrooge's flying scene, a process called green screen made the impossible seem real. First, the Muppet performers put on green suits from head to toe. Then they filmed Michael Caine and Gonzo and Rizzo in a set that was painted and lit in the very same color.
And then along me, so that way I can join along for flying with ghosts of Scrooge and, of course, Gonzo and Rizzo, so that way I can join along for my flying action with the gang to see how that worked that way.
Later, for the finished film, everything green was removed and replaced with a whole new background of miniatures, models, and matte paintings, made to look like England in Dickens' day.
It's beautiful,
Yahoo!
In the workshop, some more amazing things were custom created for the Muppet Christmas Carol, including dozens of gizmos, scores of props, and hundreds of Muppet characters, both old and new, like penguins, and pigs, and mice, and more. All handcrafted by members of the Muppets creative team, working in England and in the United States.
There has been put together here the most remarkable group of artists, craftspeople, creative types of every stripe that you could possibly hope to have. There are designers, there are builders, there are technical people, there are costumers, there are wig makers, there are people who know more about the smelly science of foam rubber than any of us would ever want to know. But they're there, they're here, and they are making miracles happen.
What's fun about it is that we're always trying something different, and we had talked about doing a classic with the Muppets for many years, and suddenly this came along, and we were able to take this, translate it into the Muppet world, and it works.
With an open smile and with open doors, I will bid you welcome. What is mine is yours. With a glass raised to toast your health.
Last place and don't set them.
Music in the Muppet Christmas Carol features songs written by Oscar-winning composer Paul Williams, who found Michael Caine eager to sing with the Muppets.
He walked in and said, I don't know how to do this, but I'll do it anyway, and he did.
Don't let it slip away. How precious life can be.
If anybody could make a living purely singing and just do nothing else, Piggy could, you know.
I'd sing like maybe one verse every cut. That's how big my part is.
Kermit lives a very clean life, you know, and he watches his voice. He takes really good care of his voice.
So I sing one song sort of myself with a bunch of rats, and that's kind of the way the Muppets work, you know, rats and critters like that. The world has got a smile today. The world has got a glow. There's no such thing as strangers when a stranger says hello. And everyone is family. We're having so much fun. After all, there's only one more sleep till Christmas.
My idea of a nice Christmas is you get a bunch of family and friends together, you give each other gifts, and you try to find something sharp enough to cut the fruitcake with.
What's the best thing I really like about the movie? I get to join Gonzo and Rizzo and the Muppet Friends, and all I wanted to do, I want to say, is I am a pretender in that movie, and I like to say is that I wanted to tell that I like to join Gonzo, Rizzo, but when it's make-believe, I can say the most important is about the Muppet Christmas Carol. I like to pretend with these Muppets in the Muppet Christmas Carol, even when people just made the movie, especially when Brian Henson directed the movie, and I just joined to pretend in that movie. And here's one thing I like to know. I joined Gonzo and Rizzo in the beginning and middle, but in the end, I had to say goodbye to them in the end, to go back home on the buildings. So that way so I had to go home in the end. So that's how it happened. When the movie just ended, I had to go back home when they were singing about Christmas. Gonzo and Rizzo were saying goodbye for me, and I had to say goodbye to them back, and so I said goodbye to them, and I had to climb on the buildings and walk on them to go back home, and that's how the movie just went to work out in that way. But what's the spirit of Christmas? I just really like to enjoy the fun with the Muppets, gifts, presents, friends, and family, and everything else for all of it. It's just fun about the Muppet Christmas Carol that way, especially when I like to join those Muppets on the Christmas fun and everything else, and especially when I like to join this part for the movie. It's just pretending it.
Music, magic, and Muppets. In a movie over a year in the making, Dickens' timeless holiday story, told as only the Muppets can tell it.
The Muppet Christmas Carol is going to be a wonderful, wonderful movie. And it could have been better if my part had been bigger.
The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Feels like